You have an ICP now. The question is where to actually find companies that fit it. This lesson only works once you've drafted your ICP statement and scorecard from lesson 4, because that's the filter you're about to run against the entire market. Without it, segmentation is just picking industries you like the sound of. If you haven't drafted that yet, go build it first. In this one, you'll define your total, serviceable, and obtainable market, rank your top firmographic segments, and refine those segments with the specific technology signals that predict a real fit. In B2B, everyone is not your customer, and segmentation is how you focus on the 20% of the market that delivers 80% of your results. This lesson uses a classic split. Firmographics, like industry, revenue, and employee count, and technographics, the actual software a company runs. Segmenting this way lets you prioritize regions, tailor your messaging, and get real efficiency out of your go-to-market effort. And for a multi-stakeholder sale in particular, it means focusing your team's energy where your ICP actually shows up most, instead of spreading it evenly across a market that mostly isn't a fit. First, market segmentation divides your addressable market into smaller, genuinely targeted groups. It's not just a fancier list. Second, firmographic and technographic data are the primary ways B2B companies build those segments. Third, segmenting effectively raises both marketing efficiency and sales productivity at the same time. Fourth, it's how you actually identify your highest value segments instead of assuming you already know them. And fifth, your segmentation strategy should be a direct reflection of the ICP you just built, not a separate exercise running in parallel. The first is the TAM, SAM, SLAM framework: total addressable market, serviceable addressable market, serviceable obtainable market. It's a classic way to take a market that feels overwhelmingly large and break it down into the portion you can realistically win. The second is firmographic and technographic segmentation itself, using company-level data like industry and revenue alongside software usage data like which CRM or e-commerce platform a company runs to identify exactly where your ideal segments actually live. This is the core segmentation tool for the whole lesson. With an ICP in hand, you can finally approach the market with precision instead of a wide net. This lesson is about building a market map, a clear representation of your target segments, and how you'd prioritize them. Honest completion means acknowledging that some segments are simply lower priority than others. Surface completion is a broad list that quietly includes almost everyone, which defeats the whole purpose. By the end, the output for this lesson is your market map, the tool that tells your team exactly where to focus. Back in lesson 4, you drafted your ICP statement and scorecard, the decision-making tool that names your best fit customer. Now we use that filter to figure out exactly where those customers actually are. Start by defining your total addressable market. Everyone who could theoretically buy. Your serviceable addressable market, the portion you can actually reach with your current model, and your serviceable obtainable market, what you can realistically win in the next 12 months. Next, list 3 to 4 firmographic segments that score highly against your ICP and rank them by potential value, something like US-based SaaS companies as your top priority. Finally, add a technographic layer to each one, the specific software or platform usage that signals a strong fit, like US SaaS companies with 50 to 500 employees using Salesforce. If you've got your workbook handy, this is worth writing out as an actual table. Your checklist: define your TAM, SAM, and SOM. List 3 to 4 firmographic market segments. Refine those with technographic data. Put together a visual version of your market map. A table works fine, and share it with your marketing team. These produce a prioritized market map, and it's the direct blueprint for the outreach playbook you'll build 2 lessons from now, once you know exactly who's worth reaching. A procurement software company had a genuinely global total addressable market, and that was the problem. They were spreading marketing dollars across too many industries and geographies, and conversion rates were suffering for it. So they pulled firmographic and technographic data from their actual best customers and found a real pattern. SaaS companies in the US, 200 to 1,000 employees, running both Salesforce and NetSuite. Once they focused there, marketing ROI rose 50%, and their lead-to-opportunity rate climbed 30%. The market didn't get smaller. Their aim just got sharper. Think about that procurement software story. Your team is probably casting a wider net than it should. Name a segment you're currently targeting that isn't actually a fit for your ICP. What has that unfocused effort cost you? Based on your new market map, what's one segment you'd stop marketing to immediately? Where would you put that budget instead? And if your marketing team focused solely on your top 2 segments, what specifically would you expect to change about lead quality and quantity? Take a moment with that before continuing. The most common shortcut is defining your segment as simply all our current customers. The cost is a map that only looks backward, telling you nothing about where to grow. Real completion usually comes with a clear stop doing list. You realize some markets genuinely aren't worth pursuing, and that's a good outcome, not a loss. This market map is crucial groundwork for the outreach playbook 2 lessons out. A clear segment makes for a clear message. Watch for the trap of segmenting by geography alone. Companies in the UK assumes a similarity that often isn't there. And the real test of application. Can you say, plainly, we're putting 80% of our effort into these 2 verticals? Pause here and open the Lesson 5 worksheet. Under TAM/SAM/SOM, write your total addressable market first, the theoretical maximum, then your serviceable addressable market, the portion you can reach, and your serviceable obtainable market, the realistic slice you can actually win. Under priority market segments, name your top segment, the one closest to your ICP, and your second highest priority behind it. A notebook works if you don't have the printed pages. This market map becomes your guide for outreach, feeding directly into the playbook you build 2 lessons from now. Check these off as you go. First, TAM/SAM/SOM defined. Check it once you've defined all 3. Next, priority firmographic segments listed. Check it once you've listed and ranked 3 to 4 segments. And finally, check technographic refinement added once you've layered technographic criteria onto those segments. With all 3 checked, you've successfully mapped your market. You know exactly where to point your team's energy from here. This measures how focused your team's efforts actually are right now. 4 segment concentration. Calculate what percentage of your marketing budget goes to your top 2 segments. 4 lead to opportunity. Compare conversion rates for leads from those top segments against everything else. And for outreach focus, check what percentage of your SDR time is spent there versus scattered elsewhere. A below benchmark result usually means your team is spread too thin, and building this prioritized market map is exactly how you fix it. Imagine you could only go after 2 market segments, nothing else. Based on your market map, which 2 would you pick? Now write down what you'd actually say to a prospect in that segment. This forces you to prioritize and sharpen your message at the same time. The question to sit with: are you avoiding focus because it means saying no to potential revenue? Be honest with yourself. What's one market segment that's currently a distraction for your team? What's the opportunity cost of continuing to chase it? What would you actually gain by dropping it? For deeper reading, research how intent data is used to refine market segmentation, tools and services that surface which companies are actively searching for solutions like yours right now, not just companies that fit your profile on paper. 3 actions for your go-to-market team. Present your market map to marketing and align on which campaigns target which segments. Update your sales territory planning around these priorities. And build a list of target accounts within your single top priority segment. Next time, we take this map and go find the one person inside each of those accounts who can actually say yes.